very important. My mother's also in rehab, and I just want to make sure she was okay because her roommate, had COVID, and they just tested her. Thank God she doesn't have COVID. We're dealing with a lot of problems. We certainly don't need more. My poor wife, only 46 years old, the mother of our two beautiful children, Mike and Sophia. She's in on a ventilator right now. My wife. She's dealing with the most horrible cancer. It started off as breast cancer, and she was living with it since 2015. Okay. What's up there, Justin? I'm sorry about that, brother. I had to start a new live stream because my phone was on mute. Justin Henry in the house. Lovely in the house. So my wife, as I was saying before, she worked during the 9/11 attacks. She worked at two World Trade Centers. She worked for the New York Stock Exchange. She was an executive confidential secretary. She worked during the good times. What's up, Back to the Future? Good evening, brother. Buonasera. Anytime you're in the Jersey Shore, Justin, you come visit us. We love you, brother.
He's in Ohio.
You're in Ohio?
Yep.
Beautiful. If we are ever in Ohio, we'll come visit you. If you're ever in the Jersey Shore, you come visit us anytime. Back to the Future, too. You live in Pennsylvania, Back to the Future. You're not that far away. So, as I was saying, my wife, she worked during the 9/11 attacks. A lot of people who worked during 9/11 unfortunately did not survive. In the name of the Father, of the Son, Holy Spirit, amen. God bless them. God bless all of them. God bless their families. And a lot of people who did survive the 9/11 attacks didn't realize it, but many, many years later, cancer caught up to them. That was the case with my wife. You have relatives in New Jersey? Beautiful. Well, I'm your relative. I consider Back to the Future is family to me. Back to the Future is family. Yeah, if we're ever in Ohio, Justin, we'll come up to see you. So anyway, getting back what I was saying, a lot of people didn't realize it. They survived 9/11. But many, many years later, it caught up to them. My wife didn't work the night shift. No, she was there in the morning. She was there in the morning on 9/11. She was actually 5 minutes late, if you could believe it, thank God. She was going to walk into the building, and she missed the building collapsing. She was 5 minutes late. We got Texas in the house. I left my exes in Texas. Emo Kyle, how you doing? Your local American, how you doing? God bless America. So, my wife was first diagnosed with cancer in 2015. What's up, Husky man? 2015. And she got what's called a mastectomy because at the time the cancer was contained. It was contained in her breast. The doctor said to her, all these doctors ruined my wife's life. Let me tell you something. They ruined my wife's life, these doctors. They said, all we got to do to get rid of this cancer is that we got to take your left breast off. It's a mastectomy. And then all the cancer will be gone forever. You'll be cancer-free. Didn't work out that way. It didn't work out that way. They took off my poor wife's left breast only for the cancer to spread. Spread all over the place after that. Became stage 4 cancer. See, a lot of people don't know what stage 4 basically is. Stage 4 is when the cancer leaves the origin and travels, some cases to organs, to the spinal cord. I'm not really doing so great, Punch. What's up there? G Whiffin 29. Thank you for saying you're sorry. Well, when you say you're sorry for my loss, my wife is technically still alive. I just want to be clear, but she is on a ventilator. She is dealing with a very, very difficult time. She is not doing well. She's not eating. I mean, well, let's just put it this way. God bless your dog. God bless your dog. let's just put it this way. A month ago, my wife was perfect. And this is what's so shocking to me. Just 4 weeks ago, my wife was perfect. She was eating, drinking, talking, walking. Now, she's on a ventilator. Not when I say not eating, well, there's a food tube. They give her food through the food tube, and the ventilator is basically breathing the majority for her. It's a very sad situation. 46 years old, such a young girl. She should not be in this position. Life could be very unfair. Thank you. God bless all of you. Thank you for your prayers. God bless your grandpa. Um, I'm just waiting to see if one of my apes come here, like Angie. I'm going to tell them to do a little favor for me when they come here. But anyway, we'll talk a little bit. So, what happened basically is I learned something new. And I'm going to share this information with all of you right now because you may not know this. I'm going to share something that you may not know. You know, like when you're sick, okay, you go to a doctor, right? Isn't that like what we all do? We're sick, we go to the doctor. Why do we go to the doctor? Because the doctor's going to help us feel better, right? Isn't that like the way it works? Right. It's very, very different when you're critically ill. When you're critically ill, everything changes. Everything changes. I don't understand why the medical community is like this. I do not understand why the medical. Justin Henry, you're probably smart not to go to doctors. You want to hear how psychopathic, listen to this, Mike. You want to hear how Norman Bates psycho the medical community is when you're critically ill? Okay, so there's a law that stipulates you must keep a patient stable. Okay, let me explain to you what that means. Like, let's say you're critically ill. Let's say that you have, it could be cancer, or you have something that is so serious, it's so life threatening, and it cannot be cured. Let's say you have something where you are very sick, you're critically ill. They're still required, like the ICU department is required to keep that oxygen pumping in your lungs. They're required to make sure all your vitals are top notch. Your blood pressure is good, everything's good. But here's what they're not required to do. You want to know what they're not required to do? They're not required to treat your cancer. In other words, a doctor becomes like God. Okay, a doctor becomes like God when you're critically ill. And let me explain to you what I mean by that. He makes the decision, the doctor, if he wants to treat you or not treat you. So he might say, you know something, I think your cancer is too far advanced. And I don't want to take the chance of treating you because this is their concept. I could only make it possibly worse. In other words, I could hurt you. Like if I give you chemotherapy, the chemotherapy could kill you. If I do brain surgery, the brain surgery could kill you. If I give you radiation, the radiation could kill you. But you're begging the doctor. You say, doctor, I don't want to die. I love my family. That's what's happening with my wife. My wife, Jennifer, loves her children. My wife, Jennifer, loves her husband. She loves her family. She wants to be with us, but she can't talk. You know why she can't talk? Because she's got a breathing tube down her throat. She's got a food tube down her throat. And because this cancer is growing. And I'm begging all these doctors. I'm like, I do all this research online. I found some great treatments. Like there was this thing called, it's a drug, T-DXD. This is perfect for my wife. She had the HER, breast cancer. This thing has showed promise of knocking out cancer that my wife has. That started as breast cancer and that metastasized to the brain and spinal cord. They don't want to treat her. The doctors want nothing to do with treating her. And it's not just one doctor. I'm calling up doctors all around the freaking country. I'm calling up everybody. It's like once you get critically ill, the doctors, they just want you to pull the plug. That's it. They want you to say, hasta la vista, baby. They want to say, Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Ba 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 boo. Good night, sweetheart. Well, I love you so. They don't want to treat you. Could I say happy birthday? Yeah, you're joking around. I read that. You look fine. Well, it's not me I'm talking about. I'm talking about my wife, Mr. Keat. Thank you, Mr. Keat. Now, you want to know what it is, Mr. Keat? It's at a point where it's like the only thing they're doing for my wife right now, she also has pneumonia. She has pneumonia. They're just treating her for the pneumonia. They're giving her a little bit of steroids, thank God. I have to say, at least they're giving her steroids, which is reducing the inflammation in the brain because she's got the cancer in the brain. But other than that, they're just treating her for the pneumonia. They're giving her a lot of oxygen. You know, they're giving her all the support she needs to keep her blood pressure up. But I'm desperately trying to find a doctor that's going to just treat her. And that's what I see. I have things that I know is going to help my wife. My wife, let me tell you a story. 5 years ago, 5 years ago, she was in a similar situation. Back to the Future. I love you, brother. I know you're praying for Jennifer, and I know you love our family, and we love you, Back to the Future. Thank you again for all your support. We love you, brother. So anyway, 5 years ago, my wife had cancer on the liver. She wound up going into septic shock, okay, because it was also due to they put this port in her, which was, to administer chemotherapy. She had a very bad reaction. She got an infection from the port. She went into septic shock. You know what? This is 5 years ago. The doctor said the same thing. They said, we don't think we could save her. It's a very large tumor on the liver. But at the time, I guess maybe because she was, much younger and she was, I think that was 40, 41 at the time. And, she didn't have cancer in her brain. She didn't have cancer in the spinal cord. This was 5 years ago. They decided to treat her. I convinced them at the time to treat her, and they administered chemotherapy. Okay, they gave her chemo. The chemo wiped the cancer off her liver. It wiped the cancer off her liver. And she got over the septic shock, and she was back. Jennifer was back. Baby, come back. Any kind of fool could see there was something in everything about you. Angie. Thank you, Angie. I love you, Angie. Here, let me so Angie was kind enough to put up my Cash App. I have a service, if you don't know, I'm a piano player. A lot of people don't know. Some people do know who watches my channel. I'm a blues piano player. I have a service that's called the Thank You Song. If anybody makes a small contribution, a small entertainment tip on my Cash App, could be anything. Could be a couple of dollars, $5, $10, whatever floats your boat. I actually write a song for you. I write a song. It's called the Thank You Song. It's like a jazz blues instrumental piano piece. And what I do is I connect you. I connect your good deed to my wife's life. It's a celebration of my wife's life. So I basically make your good deed immortal. So if that's something you'd like to do, it's a small tip. It's an entertainment tip. I'm not a charity. It's not a donation. My Cash App is kind of similar to my piano bar jaw. Like when you're at like a piano bar, you see a piano player playing, and you tip them. Well, my Cash App, that's exactly what it is. It's my piano bar jaw. So once again, you'll see it. It's pinned. The comment is pinned. It's the $ Richard Lavoie, $RICHARDLEV as in Victor OI. Any entertainment tip is going to help a family in need. We're going through a very tough time. This is the toughest time. This is the toughest time. I have to stay strong for my kids. That's what it is that every day I wake up, I became like Mr. Mom now. I'm doing not just the job that I used to do in the past, like paying all the bills, buying food for the kids, taking them to school. Now I'm doing all the jobs my wife did. I'm cleaning up after the dogs. I got to clean the dishes. I got to clean the clothes. Forget about it. It's crazy. I'm doing everything now. No, I just write Kevin Mackin. I write original songs for everybody. It's a different melody, different chords. It's not lyrics. It's instrumental. It's instrumental music. How's my wife? Not doing the greatest. People keep saying I'm sorry for your loss. God bless you, but my wife is still alive. She's on a ventilator. My wife is alive as of right now, and I hope that it stays that way because I was hoping that we could get her some kind of treatment. See, you want to hear when they're going to treat my wife? I'll tell you when. If my wife could get off the ventilator by some miracle, I pray to God every night. I pray to God every night. I say to myself, God, get my wife off this ventilator. God, let my wife talk a little bit, walk a little bit. If she could show the ICU department that she's still got some strength left in her body, that's when they're going to treat her. See, nobody wants to treat someone who's critically ill. They don't want to treat someone who's critically ill. Basically, they just want to make them comfortable. My wife is very comfortable. They give us the sedatives. They give her high oxygen. She's sleeping like a little baby, like a little bambino, it's like actually a little Bella Ragazza. She's bambino is a boy baby, forgive me. Bella Ragazza, beautiful girl. Jesus Christ is the King. Thank you very much. God bless you. Here we got a super chat. I appreciate whenever someone does a super chat. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. God bless you. God bless your family. But if you could please consider the Cash App. The Cash App is more immediate to help our family. Our family is going through tremendous, tremendous difficulties right now. And as you can see, the comment is pinned, the Cash App. But I just wanted to say thank you to, apparently his name is Zero. God bless you, Zero, for that super chat. I would never say no to a super chat. I appreciate it. But the Cash App's a little bit better for our family. It gives us immediate access to those entertainment tips that we could use for various things to help our family in need. A lot of things we need right now. Like, for instance, there's a possibility, I don't know yet, that I might be considering experimental treatment for my wife. That may not be covered by the insurance. I don't know yet, but I'm looking into every avenue. I'm looking into every avenue to save my wife's life. I love all of you. No, if you don't have Cash App, first of all, Zero, God bless you, or God bless your family. If you don't have it and you want to do a super chat, God bless you. I am very appreciated what you just did. So I'm just saying to you, look, if you're in a situation you don't have Cash App and you want to do something wonderful from your heart, God bless you. God bless you for the super chat. Okay? And I'm not saying that I don't appreciate you. I do appreciate you. I appreciate my family appreciates you. I appreciate you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you and God bless you. I'm just saying, in the event that you do have Cash App, it's a little bit easier for us because it gives us immediate access. And right now we do really, really appreciate immediate access. With that said, I am in a position right now where I got to stay strong for my kids. You have to say I got 2 kids here. I can't, it's like I'm hurting. I'm hurting. My heart is broken. I can't stop thinking of my wife. I tell my son makes me laugh, Everywhere we go, I say, this reminds me of mom. Like, we could go to a restaurant. I say, this restaurant reminds me of mom. We're driving and I could see something. I say, everything reminds me of my wife. And my son's like, Dad, you've been with her for 25 years, of course. You've done everything together with her. How do you shut that off? You can't shut that off, right? You're with someone every day of your life. You're with someone every day of your life for 25 years. You can't shut that off. But the thing is that the more and more you think about it, you kind of start getting yourself sick in a way. You get yourself a little crazy because you start freaking out. Like, I have these moments where I'll wake up in the middle of the night. It's really scary, man. I'll wake up in the middle of the night, be like 3 o'clock in the morning, and like I feel like I'm in a nightmare. I feel like I'm in a night. I feel like, but I say to myself, maybe my nightmare ended. Maybe my nightmare ended and my wife is downstairs and she's waiting for me. And I go downstairs and I'm calling her. I'm calling out her name like Jennifer, Jen. But then I realize my wife isn't here. She's in the hospital. My wife is fighting cancer. My wife's not here. And it tears me up inside, man. It tears me. The reality is too hard to accept. It is way too hard to accept. But then I got to calm myself down. I got to get myself together, because I got kids. It's like I don't have the luxury. I don't have the luxury to get myself sick. I can't. I don't have that luxury because every single day my kids need me. And I have to be strong. I have to be strong for my children. Thank you for that virtual hug. Think again. I appreciate it. I asked the doctors about frequencies, Berkney Heron. The problem is my wife's cancer is so advanced. Okay, it's the worst cancer you could have. Don't ask me to pronounce this word. If you look it up, lepto, MENNING. I think you look it up. This is where the cancer is not just in the brain, but it goes to the spinal cord. It goes into the spinal cord tunnel. Now the high intensity waves, the ultrasound waves, it doesn't work for this. It unfortunately, I did ask the doctor about that. I think it's called HIFU, high intensity frequency ultrasound. Unfortunately, the type of cancer that she has, it won't work. It won't work. What would work, like there's this particular drug, which is called T-DXD. This is the form of a chemotherapy drug, but it's specific for my wife's cancer, which is the HER2 cancer. The problem is that nobody wants to treat her. All these doctors don't want to treat her. And it's not just one place, it's every place. They're all like, her condition is too critical for treatment, Rich. So I'll say, well, when would you treat her? They say, we have to see something. We have to see her. She has to get better. She has to wake up. She has to move a little bit. She has to talk a little bit. My wife right now is in critical condition to the point where she's not talking. She's eating only on a food tube. She's on a food tube. I'm just praying that she gets better, man. Yes, Trump 2028, always. How about this one? How about we just say Trump forever? Is that better? Trump forever, baby. Thank you. God be with you too. So as I was explaining, I do appreciate super chats. If you don't have Cash App, if anybody would like to do a super chat, God bless you, helping our family in our time of need, like Zero did. God bless Zero. God bless Zero and his family. He gave us $1 super chat. But as far as my service is concerned, I have a service. The service is called the Thank You Song. You might say, well, what is this service? Did you ever have anyone in your life write you a song? I would actually write you a song. Okay, but it's going to be a beautiful jazz, blues, instrumental piano piece. Okay, for a very small entertainment tip on my Cash App. Now, if you have Cash App, the pinned comment, you see Angie's pinned comment, $ Richard Lavoie, that is my Cash App. It's right there, it's pinned. I don't know if you can see that pinned comment by Angie, but it's the $ Richard Lavoie. There is no underscore, no space in between my first and last name. $ RICHARD as a Victor OI. It could be as small as a couple of bucks, $5, $10, whatever you would like to do. I will upload a short video on YouTube. It is called the Thank You Song. And I will connect you to my wife's life. That beautiful song that I'm going to pour out my heart for you is also pouring out my heart for my wife. It's a celebration of her life. So if you would like to do a good deed, connect your good deed to my wife's life, celebrating my wife's life. It would be a beautiful thing that I would write this song. I'm going to give you a big shout out. I'm going to upload a short video, and it's really, really a beautiful thing. So it's something to think about. Yes, I am Italian. You don't understand, Berkney, how it works, man. You don't understand. These doctors, I agree with you, man, but it's like it reminds me of Nazi Germany. You want me to tell you the truth? These hospitals remind me of Nazi Germany because they keep this woman captive. And you don't think I want to get my wife out of there right now? You don't think I want to go there right now? Listen to me. You don't think I want to go? I want to go there right now and discharge my wife. Get her the FUCK out of there. And I want to bring her home. Here's what the problem. Bull Trader, God bless you, brother. I know that Bull Trader, I don't think has the cash app, but I love Bull Trader. Bull Trader is always a big supporter of mine. I love you, Bull Trader. God bless you. God bless your family. Bull Trader is a beautiful man. He's always there for me. He's always there for my family. No, but let me just tell you, Berkney, I really want to explain this to you because I believe you. I think that what you're saying is a valid point, and I do believe. I love you, Bull Trader. I think that it probably could work. The high intensity, frequency ultrasound. Here's what the problem is. You know why I can't pick up my wife right now? She's on a ventilator, bro. Let me explain to you the current situation with my wife. She's almost basically like paralyzed. She can't walk. She can't move. She has aspiration pneumonia, my wife. She has aspiration pneumonia. Let me explain to you what that means. It means she can't eat anything. If you put any type of food in her mouth, she'll choke. If you put any liquid in her mouth, she'll choke. Okay? They have to have a food tube. They have a food tube in her mouth where they administer food by way of the food tube. How am I going to take my wife home? How am I going to do it? I can't do it, right? It's not possible. See, my family's in a very, very bad position. And and let me tell you something, I don't wish this position on anybody. The position that my family is in right now. I don't wish this on my worst enemy. Okay? We're in a position where these hospitals, they got us by the balls. They got us by the effing balls. You understand? In other words, they're ready to show here. They're ready to show. There's really not much I could do. I got to make them an offer they can't refuse. Don't think I haven't thought about pulling a John Q. I got to watch what I say here because people say, wow. You ever see that movie with Denzel Washington? John Q. He had to get his son the heart transplant. They didn't want to give him a heart. He didn't have the insurance. He went down. He went down there. He took the whole place by gunpoint. No, I can't do that. Listen, I can't do. I got 2 kids. I can't go to jail. What are my kids gonna do without me? See, I'm in the very best. Maybe if I was single, I would think about crazy shit like that. I can't do stuff. Listen, I got 2 kids. My kids need me. I can't. Listen. Just to be clear, I'm not gonna pull no John Q. That was a joke. Gotta watch everything I say in these live streams. Whoever's listening to me, I am not gonna do anything illegal. Okay? It was just a joke. It was a joke. Because I gotta watch everything I say. I've actually had things where I said things online, and let's just say I had certain cases where people investigated me. They're like, "Were you serious when you said that? Were you serious?" No, I'm not serious. I'm not pulling any John Q. You know what I don't understand? I'll explain to you what's happening. My wife has cancer, Sammy, but the cancer got very serious. It started off as just breast cancer, but it spread to her brain, it spread to her spinal cord. It's so serious. In the last 3 weeks, 3 weeks ago, My wife was eating, drinking, talking, walking. She was completely normal. And I watched my wife deteriorate in 3 weeks to the point where she's on a ventilator, to the point where she can't eat or drink. She needs a food tube, to the point where she can't move. It's the most heartbreaking, torturous time in my life and in my children's life. It's horrible. Let me get rid of this moron here. From time to time, I see people actually say I'm lying about this. Let me explain something to you, to all these haters. I just kicked one guy off. Why would I lie about the most horrific, horrible experience of my life? Like, why would I lie? I love my wife more than anything in this world except for my children. I love my children and my wife equally. I love my family. Okay? I would do anything. I would give anything for my wife to be healthy, for my wife to be here right now. I would do anything. I would give anything. Okay? I would never lie about something like this. Do you think I want my wife sick? No. I want my wife home with us. I miss her. But it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. Every day I start crying. I'm crying all day long. I'm praying to God. I'm crying because it's like my mind can't accept. My mind can't accept that my wife may never come home again. My heart can't accept that my wife may never come home again. And it's like I can't accept it. I can't get over it. It's like I say to myself just 3 weeks ago, my wife was okay. How could that happen so fast? Let me tell you something, man. Cancer sucks. Cancer effing sucks. My wife always got better. Can I tell you something? My wife was a strong mother effer. My wife was like Wonder Woman. Forget about it. She had cancer for 10 years, since 2015. Every time my wife went to a hospital, she recovered. She came home. I started to think in my mind, you want to know the truth? I was like, my wife doesn't really have cancer. Like, I was convinced of myself. I'm like, I know the doctors are saying that she's got stage 4 cancer. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. You know why I don't believe it? Because every time she went to get treatments, she came home. Every time she went to the hospital, she came home. She was strong like a friggin' Italian bull. She was Italian and Scottish, my wife. She had a lot of Italian in her too, though, from her mother's side. Her mother was Italian. Her father was Scottish. But the thing is that this last particular time where she got diagnosed now with this cancer that spread to the brain and to the spinal cord, this one was like the knockout punch by Mike Tyson. This was the knockout punch. This one took away everything from my wife in a matter of 3 weeks. All of her abilities. Eating, drinking, walking, talking. It's mind-boggling. You have no idea how it feels. And I hope that none of you ever feel this. I hope that none of you ever experience what me and my family are experiencing right now. You have absolutely no idea how devastating it is to see a loved one okay just 3 weeks ago. Just 3 weeks ago, completely okay, functioning, talking, eating, walking, and then to be completely wiped the F out on a ventilator, food tube down your throat. Can't eat, can't drink, can't talk, can't move. It's friggin' devastating. Cancer sucks, man. Go home and get your effing shine box cancer. I plan to spend my whole life. I do trust in God. I pray in God every night. I pray to God every night. I say, God, look after my wife. Carry her right now. Carry her, God. Stand by her side. She's the mother of our children. She's my beautiful, beautiful partner, my wife. She's my best friend. She's everything to me. I pray to God every night. God, please help her. Help her, God. In a way, if she could just get off this ventilator, if she could start showing everybody that she could walk a little bit, I think we could get a treatment at that point. They don't want to treat her right now. They don't want to treat the cancer right now because they feel she's too critically ill. So basically, they're not even treating her cancer. It's freaking disgusting. I saw my sister die from cancer right in front of my eyes. I'm so sorry, Will. Will, God bless you. God bless your sister. God bless your family. I am so sorry, Will. Terry, my grandpa, grandma, and my aunt all passed from cancer. And you have lymphoma, but you're going to make it. I'm sorry for you. Thank you, Terry. Terry, you're in my prayers. I wish you, Terry, I wish you the best of health, happiness, and success. You beat that cancer. God bless you. For lymphoma. What's up, Mean Street? Tommy from the Bronx. Tommy, how am I doing? I'm not doing so great, Tommy. I'm not doing so great. But I have to keep it together for my kids. You know what it is, Tommy? I got 2 kids that need me. And you know what it is? I'll make all of you laugh in a way. You want to laugh? I'm going to make all of you laugh. I got nobody right now. I got nothing. I just got my kids. So I'll tell you a funny story. My kids get up in the morning, we make them a little breakfast, you know what I mean? And then they go, and then I take them to school. I count the hours. You want to laugh? I count the hours until my kids come home because I miss them so much, I miss my kids so much. I'm counting the hours. I'm like, what? I'm like, when are my kids gonna be home? It's another 4 hours, another 3 hours, another 2 hours, and then they come home and they're my company. I take them out. We go out to eat. I take them to visit their mother. We go visit Jen, and it's like that's the same routine every day. Well, right now obviously it's the weekend, so the kids don't got school on the weekends, but come Monday. That's the thing. They get up, they go to school. I count the hours for them to come home. I take them out to eat. I take them out to have fun. We go visit their mom. And that's pretty much everything I do. Yeah, if I didn't have my kids right now, Terry, I think that I probably would have went crazy. You want me to tell the truth? I would have been a basket case. If I did not have my children, and maybe that's God's plan. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's, they say God only gives you what you can handle. This is a lot for me to handle, and I can't handle this. But you know how I'm getting through it? I'm getting through it because I have my kids. Like I said, if I didn't have my kids, it'd be hasta la vista, baby, for me. I know I have a lot of people on YouTube like Tommy from the Bronx, Mean Street. Tommy, you're a great man. You've always been a great man, and you've done a lot to help my family, and I appreciate you. My wife was a miracle, Jaeger. My wife was a miracle. I don't look. I don't know if there's some kind of maybe spiritual connection here. All right. So in 2017, my wife's cancer turned to stage 4. It started in 2015, just regular breast cancer. 2017, this was after she had her operation, a mastectomy. It became stage 4 cancer. Around this time, my wife's mom, Linda, passed away suddenly from acute leukemia. She passed away suddenly. As the mother passed away, my wife started to make a remarkable recovery and a comeback. She was doing terrible. This was the same time that she was going through a lot of problems with that stage 4 cancer. That's when it started to spread, and she wasn't doing well, my wife. But it was like some kind of a thing. When her mother passed away, maybe she spoke with God. Her mother, Linda. Maybe she said, God, take me, make my daughter well. Because I always found it to be remarkable. I always found it to be amazing how my wife got better when her mother passed away. But this is the thing. 10 years later, My wife it seems like she's passing away now. I don't want her to pass away. God, please keep her alive. I love my wife. But it seems like she might be passing away in a similar fashion to what happened to her mother Linda, which I find to be totally freaky. I'm totally freaked out. I am totally freaked out because her mother passed away. It took her about a month. It took her about a month, and I'm seeing the same thing with my wife, and it's scaring the shit out of me, okay? You have to understand, my wife is in serious condition. This is no joke. I don't know if you all understand how serious this is. My wife is on a ventilator. My wife can't eat. She can't drink. I go to see her. It's like she's in a coma state. She can't talk to us. She's gotten so sick, she used to be able to nod her head. She doesn't even nod her head anymore. The only thing that she's really got is that she squeezes my hand from time to time. I go there and I hold her hand. I hold my wife's hand. She squeezes my hand. And to me, that's love. That's like her telling me when she squeezes my hand, that's her telling me, Rich, I'm here. You know? Do I believe God exists? I do believe in God. I'm not really sure why he's doing this to us, though. Everybody keeps telling me God has a plan. Everybody keeps telling me this, but I don't understand why he's doing this. Listen, if he wanted my wife, he could have took her. She was home with us. If she had to pass away in her sleep, I would have been sad, of course, but I would have accepted it. But why does my wife have to go through all of this? Like, why? Like, I don't understand. Like, what is the purpose of this beautiful, beautiful person, the greatest mother, the greatest wife, my best friend? Why is she in this critical condition where she can't eat no more, she can't drink, she can't move, she can't walk, she can't talk? It seems very unfair. And I speak to people, they say this is God's plan. I'm not really sure what that means. Yeah, the hospital definitely, in my opinion, Berkeley is not doing the right thing here. But this is the thing, it's all the hospitals. This is what you're not understanding, brother. It's all the you have to say something, You ever hear of population control? A lot of people feel that certain things have been done. I'm not going to get into conspiracy theories to control the population. See, when you have a person who's critically ill, I don't think they want them to survive. Because you want to know what's crazy, man? What is the big deal to just give my wife a little bit of treatment? What is the big deal? Like, they all say the same things, these doctors. I'm like, why can't you give her a little treatment? They say, because we don't want to hurt her. I'm like, you don't want to hurt her? My wife could be dying in a couple of days. Like, what are we talking about, Willis? Here? What are we doing? We don't want to cause more suffering. I'm like, but doctor, shouldn't that be up to the patient? Should it be up to the patient if they want to take a risk? It's a crazy thing. I've never seen anything like it. When you're critically ill, hospitals and doctors do not want to do anything. So I know what you're saying. Well, Rich, why don't you get your wife out of there? Listen, why don't you? Okay, let's talk about all the options. Can we talk about all the options here? Because I want to get your opinion on this. Okay. So let's say some of the people say, Rich, transfer her to another hospital. No hospital is going to take her. I called up Sloan. I called up all the top hospitals in the world, and they don't want to take her on because she's critically ill. They all say the same things. They're like, Rich, do you know what a risk it's going to be to try to transport your wife to our hospital while she's on a ventilator? Plus, she's got an EVD stuck to her brain. They got this thing because she had hypocephalus. She had, because of all the tumors in her brain, she had all of this liquid buildup in her brain. She has to drain all that liquid. She got this friggin' thing. It's called an EVD connected to her. Okay? How the FUCK am I going to transfer my wife? No hospital wants to take her. I called up like 10 hospitals. They're all telling me the same thing. They're like, she's critical, Rich. Leave her where she is. Now, you might say, well, why don't you pull the plug? Why don't you pull the plug? Let her go. You know why I can't do that? Because my wife is fighting. She's still alive. She's fighting. Okay. So I'm hoping, and I know you probably think I'm delusional, that some of this has to do with just a pneumonia, meaning her ability to not eat anymore, her ability to not speak, to not move. She has aspiration pneumonia. She's still fighting the pneumonia. Is it possible that she gets over the pneumonia, maybe snaps out of this? Maybe snaps out of this and she's able to walk again and she's able to talk. Now, I know that this is dreaming. It's like that song, you know. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will be as one. Anyway, you know, it wasn't my wife's fault, Berkney, what happened to her, man. She worked during 9/11. That was it, man. And then afterwards, she went back to work on Wall Street. Too much toxins in the air, man. It wasn't safe. The air quality was not safe after 9/11. I dream, man. That's all I could do, Terry. I dream and I have hope that, because that's really all. The only thing that's going to save my wife's life is herself at this point. The only thing that's going to save my wife's life is if by some miracle, with God on her side, with God in her corner, that she could just somehow get off this ventilator, get up, walk, talk. Then if that's the case, there's a lot of things I could do for her. I could take her to these outpatient, treatment centers, the proton therapy. I could get that for her. I could do a lot for her if she started walking and talking again. But if she's not going to walk or talk, I don't know what I could do. Right now, if you want to know the truth, if you really want me to level with you, the way that these doctors set it up, these pieces of friggin' trash, they knew I didn't want my wife on hospice. They've been asking me about hospice for the past month. They're like, put your wife on hospice. These people are relentless, these hospice people. They follow you everywhere you go. I was in the bathroom one time, right? I come out of the bathroom and a woman, Mr. Lavoy, hi, I'm a whatever, Jody from hospice. I'm like, are you friggin' nuts? And she's waiting out the bathroom door. I said, you trying to friggin' give me a heart attack here? She goes, Mr. Lavoy, I'd like a minute of your time to talk about hospice. I said, listen, get away from me, you mother effer, or you're going to be on hospice, I told her. I said, again, just a joke, just a joke. But no, those hospice people are relentless. They are effing relentless, man. I hate those mother effers. I understand that they provide a beautiful service, but they're a little too pushy. They're a little too pushy. I mean, these mother effers don't stop. They call you 10 times a day, follow you everywhere you go. And then when they can't get to you, they team up on you. You know what they do? They team up on you. They'll get like the whole entire medical staff. Like I'll be visiting my wife, right? I'm holding my wife's hand. I'm kissing my wife's hand, right? Next thing I know, like 10 people walk into the room. So it's the hospice lady, the doctors, the nurses, everybody. They're like, we need to talk. We need to talk. And they want to force you to give up on your wife. They're evil, those mother people, right? They're evil, man. Anyways, wanted to mention really quickly in passing, because I'm going to be ending the live stream right now. I'm going to go relax a little bit. If anybody would like to help my family, we are going through an extremely, extremely difficult time. You have no idea how difficult it is. I have a service. It is called the Thank You Song. I'm a piano player. I'm a jazz blues piano player. For a very small entertainment tip, it could be a couple of bucks, nothing crazy, on my Cash App, which is the $ Richard Lavoie. You'll see it on the pinned comment. If anybody could see it, it says Angie, the pinned comment, $RiChardLevoi. There is no underscore. There is no space in between my first and last name. My Cash App is like my piano bar jaw. You know, when you give like a piano player a tip, very small entertainment tip, I will write a song for you. It's called the Thank You Song. I will give you a gigantic shout out, and I will connect your good deed as a celebration of my wife's life. So you will have a video that will be uploaded on on YouTube, and it will be from the bottom of my heart thanking you. Again, anybody would like to help out our family, a very small entertainment tip on my Cash App. You'll see it. It's the pinned comment, the $ Richard Lavoie. $RichardLev as a Victor OI. We would greatly appreciate your support. We are hurting. This is the most difficult time in our lives. But with that said, God bless all of you. God bless your families. God bless you, Terry. God bless your dad. Berkeley, God bless you. Tommy from the Bronx, God bless you. Angie, God bless you. All of you wonderful people. Everyone here. I wish all of you nothing but the best. Back to the future, the best of health, happiness, success. Remember, cherish your family every day. Cherish your family. God bless all of you. And thank you. I'll be back.